That's right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. I've had so much trouble with YouTube. They gave me a fucking strike on my channel. At the moment, I can't live stream on my channel, and it's really just cock blocked me. There's been so much news going on, progressive news I wanted to get into, wasn't able to. So I'm hosting from my best friend, one of the progressive players, even though he's a conservative, Bill Mack's channel. If you're watching this video on Bill Mack's channel, go ahead and give him subscribe, because you'll see my videos first on his channel, then you see it on my channel a day after. So if you're already on my channel, thanks for the love. If you're on Bill Mack, give him a sub. Help the brother out. He's a good man, good YouTuber. And it's like a lot of YouTubers have this problem, myself included. We try to make the best videos known to man, and they're so hard to get discovered.
Yes.
You know? And then YouTube's going to give me a strike for something that had fucking 10,000 views. I mean, that might be a lot, but I'm like, come on, it was a sex education video. But anyway, we got 3 good stories for you tonight, man. I'm scared to death, man. Trump win. I'm not scared of Trump. I'm scared of the backlash, the rhetoric, and the Trump protesters out there, brothers and sisters, God bless you. Keep up the good work. It just worries me, man, because African Americans are going to think that all white people are racist because Trump won, when the truth is Trump won because nobody gave a shit about Hillary. She didn't have a message. You know. Hello?
Yes, sir.
And I'm a progressive, man. We the progressive players. And I love my Elizabeth Warren and my Bernie Sanders, and that's why I didn't show up and vote for her. And I felt kind of bad because on my channel I was always disrespecting Hillary. I'm like, well, that can't be the reason she lost, you know, because of the math, because that would have been like, I probably persuaded if at the most 10,000 people. So, and she lost like by 100,000 votes or points in some states, even though I believe she won the popular vote.
220,000 votes.
Al Gore all over again. That's why I don't like the electoral, you know, college. You win a state, you win NC, you get what, 3 to 5 points or something like that. I'm not no political genius, but when she won California the other night, I was like, okay, she's got a chance now. And then you get a little points here for that state. Bernie state will give you -5 points. I'm just kidding. The race to 270. But if you actually go by the votes, the popular vote, she would have won. And the same thing happened with Al Gore, right? He had more popular votes than Bush, right?
Al Gore, Al Gore won the popular vote over Bush, but Bush won the electoral vote. And I think North Carolina has 14 electoral votes. I believe it's 14.
Yeah. I figured it was a low number. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the electoral college, I think it's cool. It's a cool way to do math, but at the same time, it's bullshit. You know, when somebody gets more votes than the other, you know, I know there's reasons behind it, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the country is pretty much red now, except for California and a few northeast states. I know Jersey is still blue, New York, Maine, Vermont, Bernie, and I'm just in the minority, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the minority like me and you're progressive, you love progressive politics, hardcore politics, video reactions, you're at the right place. And thanks for being here again. We just look into the inside of politics and try to make sense of it. And my good friend Bill Mack here, he's unaffiliated, but he's always taken. See, I give him a lot of credit because he sits there and he takes tests all the time. He's educated. He's got a brain. He's smart. And he's like, well, man, I'm like 46% Democrat and like, what was it, 48 or 54 Republican or something. But at least he tries. Yeah, I grew up in the Republican Party. I was a Republican for 25 years, which means if you're a Republican, you can't really say nothing bad about me. It's a little Hillary Clinton trick she did.
Well, it says I'm 49% Republican, 46% Democrat. So that's where I stand at.
Ladies, that's great. I'm proud of you for doing that. And see, ladies and gentlemen,
because you don't want. I just believe in knowing where you belong, and when you take those,
there you go.
the site isidewith.com, plug there. When you take that quiz, it's very extensive in what the issues are today and how important they are to you, and they tabulate that. It ain't just said, do you like this, do you like that, and then say, we'll just give you any guess. This is an actual.
It's not black and white. Yeah, it's not just black. Yeah. There's a gray area there. There's a gray area because we live in a capitalist country. But if we were 100% socialism, it just wouldn't work. It's like the balance of the force, you know. And I like, and socialism by each year becomes a less creepy word because it's simply, you know, Medicare, public schooling, you know, things like that, social security. And socialism is not a bad word. It's just a lot of people confuse it and link it to communism. And maybe it was in Germany, but I mean, things have changed. So, because I'd always laugh at some Republicans when they say, well, we can't vote Bernie. He's a socialist communist. I'm like, you really think he would run as just a straight up communist for president? You crazy. I said, he's a democratic socialist. But is he a socialist? Yeah, he is. But, you know, I mean, he's not a sociopath like Trump, but anyway, because it works in European countries, socialism. It just depends. It's a nice approach to try something different, you know, but we'll say that for another time. But there's so many stories, ladies and gentlemen, that to get into that we can't do, but so many, because Jimmy Dore, he did some great videos on Crooked Hillary this week and the establishment. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. But see, Bill, because I was always wondering, why the fuck didn't Hillary Clinton run on the Republican ticket? Because all she does is pander to the right. Why ain't she a conservative? And same thing with Bill Clinton. And Jimmy Dore explained it beautifully. You know, it's because they pass things in Congress that Republicans can only dream of. It's like Herbert Walker Bush signed NAFTA, but Bill Clinton got it pushed through. You know, because a Republican couldn't get it pushed through, the Democrats would fight it. So Bill Clinton would get it pushed or get it passed, rather. He would get it passed because he'll trick his Democrats. Like, well, if the president's like, another example is President Obama. President Obama's all for the TPP, and you know me, and that's a bad trade deal like NAFTA, very bad trade deal. But only a Democrat can pass it. Because Republican try to pass it, the Democrats will block it. So the trick is let a conservative Democrat Obama push it, and then the liberals will fall in line. So dirty Democrats do things only Republicans can dream of, basically. I guess that's about right.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Dore said it perfectly, man. I'm just saying off the top of my head. But anyway, I give Bill a lot of credit. He's like, if you guys watch MSN, ladies and gentlemen, I'm assuming you guys do, if you're watching Progressive News here, they always had the former RNC chairman on there on MSNBC on the round table. And he's just a cool, relaxed guy, all's good in the hood. That's Bill Mack on this channel. He is the former RNC chairman, man, just chill. He's so he's the laid back RNC man. They'd be like, well, yeah, you know, Burns got a point there. He's not going to give you hateful rhetoric. He is a real conservative, or at least he used to be. He's half liberal now, so he's a hybrid. I like hybrid Bill. Hybrid Bill's cool. I'm like, cool, he's half liberal now.
I'm a centrist. It said I was a centrist. I'm kind of like right down the middle of the.
See, I agree with that. I agree. See, I didn't. You know, Hillary Clinton on paper, she's a centralist Democrat. She wants to work with both sides. It's like, well, that sounds good on paper. It does. But she has an establishment, corporatist agenda. She's dirty. That's the problem. Yep. Bernie Sanders is an actual independent that works with both sides. He's a real centralist. You know, but we're going to need somebody. We need a progressive in the White House next term. We need a progressive in there because progressive Democrats or progressive independents get the shit done. We fight. We try to get shit done, man. You know, we're going to have a Republican House and Congress. And they asked Bernie, like, well, fuck, you're outnumbered. He's like, well, the people going to fight with me. you know. And not by protesting. He said people going to go to school and they're going to learn how to be a governor and they're going to learn how to be a senator. They're going to fight right next to me. Yep. Oh, and there's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Bernie Sanders, 2020, he didn't mark it out, his old ass, because it's only going to be, 4 years he can run again, because if crooked Hillary won, we have to wait 8 years for a Democrat primary. So unless she was, got a bad rating from the party. Anyway, but she is the party. So Bernie talking about 2020, buddy. That made me really excited, man, because like somebody said somewhere, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders is the candidates that fucking inspired people and made them want to get off their ass and vote. People liked Hillary. They didn't want to get off their ass and vote for her. Well, people go out there and vote for Trump. They'll vote for Bernie. Bernie Sanders, they stood out there and listened to this man talk and talk. They parked miles away to listen to Bernie. 20,000 people or so. Trump, 27,000 people. People wanted to hear that shit. They're inspired. Crooked Hillary was with Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, just to pull people in. Shouldn't that tell her something?
Bon Jovi.
It's my life. It's now. Or copyright. Copyright. But let's get into the news, ladies and gentlemen, because there's so much shit on the internet, so much going on this week. I don't even know what the fuck to do. We're only going to play 3 clips here and give us our reaction here. And like I said, I got the former RNC chair, Bill Mack, here, and he just got him a new chair, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome because ladies and gentlemen, remember, conservatives are good people. They just have a different philosophy, a different approach. We work together. We have to work together. So it's not a fanboy thing. And like he did not vote. And see, I'm proud of this man because he voted for Gary Johnson. And the only reason he didn't vote Jill Stein is because she wasn't on the ballot.
Yep.
But he voted for Mr. Aleppo himself, Gary Johnson. Bill has a lot of sense between his ears. A lot of sense. He is not a fanboy. And like Bernie says, he says, I have very good Republican colleagues out there, and that's what I consider Bill. And he's half liberal too, so he's like a hybrid Bill. And I'm glad too, because Bill and I have been friends for 10 years, and we've been friends for 10 years, but we were not friends for 4 years because he was trapped, in a relationship. We were friends, but he didn't know me. I changed, he changed, and I was Republican back then, and Bill came back. He's like, "What? You're a Democrat and a Buddhist now? What the fuck happened to you?" I said, it was just different. And I said, "Damn, Bill, I wish we could be on the same team again, man." And now he's like, "Well, hey, dude, I'm half liberal." I said, "Shit, really? That's awesome." He's like, "I'm a libertarian and a moderate and independent man. I relate to Bernie Sanders." I said, "Man, y'all wear the same drawers. That's awesome. Get on the same team again."
Well, dude,
make America.
It's important, man, because you don't want to be. You want to feel like you have a little bit of both sides in you. You can't just completely side with one side of it. You can't just be straight full Democrat. If you've got, unless you believe in every single thing they talk about, fully can't be one. And it's just not right.
You can't because you can have a Democrat that's everything Democrat, but he's pro-life.
Right.
You can't. And besides, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats argue with each other. That's democracy. That's why you had a Democratic primary with Hillary Clinton and Trump talking about the fight for 15. Hillary's like, "I was always for the fight for 15. And Bernie Sanders like, "Bullshit, bitch. Waitress, a lemon. She was for the fight for 12, not 15. Lying on the spot." I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we probably I'll cover it next episode, but I'll show you the Hillary Clinton concession speech. And dude, it touched me. It was sad because just to know somebody that has an ego the size of the moon, just to have that shattered was kind of sad, because just to know that, because I know that hurt her. I know it hurt. I had to hurt big time. It's like Hulk Hogan getting hurt big time. That ego.
That's right. If you want to put it in wrestling terms, it's Bash at the Beach with Hogan and Jeff Jarrett and Russo. Jeff Jarrett left down in the middle of the ring for Hogan to win. All Hogan had to do was pin Unlike Hogan's unlike the Hogan outcome, Hogan got the
Yeah.
win. Hillary.
But you know what was funny about that? When Jeff Jarrett laid down, Hogan was like, What the fuck, man? This is bullshit. He had that look on his face like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. And then he pinned Jarrett. He should have just walked away. That's what was so funny about it. I'm like, he pinned him anyway. I would just walk away and be like, nah, I want to earn it. And Hogan was like, this is bullshit, brother. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, dude. Hillary was handed the nomination. She was handed.
Hell no. She was selected, not elected, brother.
As I said, everything was laid in her path for her to make clear the way for her to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill, he's been a regular guest on my show all year long, and we've told you this shit almost a year ago, 6 months ago, back in March, really, because I remember the Flint, Michigan Democratic primary debate, Michigan, and Rumble in the Bronx debate, very good debate. I love the Democratic debates because they're so full of passion. And you don't hear insults and, Muslims or Native Americans. You just hear policies and strategies. Love those. Good times. And see, I got crushed. The reason I felt bad at her concession speech was because of the voters. The voters in the crowd were crying. They were hurting. And the reason I felt that back in June when Bernie Sanders was not the nominee. That's when I felt the burn. It hurt. And when I saw the Hillary voters crying, it reminded me of the pain I felt in June. And I wanted my party to win, sure. But I just felt the burn twice. And life is cruel sometimes. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with what Jimmy Dore says. With a Trump presidency, it's only going to push the Democrats back to the left where they should be. Pander to their base, man. The fuck? You want to, because you can't, Hillary's a pretend Republican. Do you want to vote for fake Sting or the real Sting? Come on.
Let's see, that's the way you look at Trump too, though. From Trump's side, from the conservative.
Trump was a Democrat. They could try to say, because Fox News will say this sometimes. They'll say, well, Trump said all that crazy stuff, that 6 audio tape, grab him by the pussy. He said that when he was a Democrat. That's why he said that. I'm like, dude, I'm sure the first thing on his mind was politics when he said that. Sure. People,
Well, see, Trump was a Democrat up until 2012. So he's on the 4 years he's been a Republican, and plus,
and see, he was to the left of Hillary.
He's to the Republican Party while Hillary is to the Democratic Party. They both are right near each other.
They should have switched. They should have switched, but that's Hillary. That's her party. That's her and Bill Clinton's party. And that concession speech, Bill Clinton was standing to the right of her, and he looked so fucking sad. He's been wanting to get his hands on that White House keys for years. He's been wanting to get in there again. And Hillary kind of hinted, well, the way I read her face was like she's thinking about running again. And there ain't no way. No, they're stupid. There ain't no way in hell she gonna run a third time. She lost to a black man with a Muslim name in 2008. She almost lost to an angry Jew, and then she lost to Donald Duck of all people. The fuck? 3 times this bitch. Well, 2 times technically. And I heard the worst news the other day. I promise we're going to get these videos in a second. Stay tuned. Just enjoy the podcast, please. Please, babies. And I heard the worst thing ever. The DNC is considering having Tim Kaine run in 2020. I said they're full of shit. They are full of shit because nobody likes Tim Kaine. The state of Virginia that he was born in hates that man. That man is a corporatist, center-right Democrat. He's pro-TPP because he's to the right of Hillary. He's worse than a bad Republican. Not a good guy. Trust me. Nobody likes Tim Kaine. And Mike Pence made him look like a fucking asshole in that debate. Now, I like Mike Pence for his talent, because he made Tim Kaine look like a fucking asshole, and that's why Trump won too,
Mm-hmm.
Because he's fucking rude, man. He kept interrupting Pence. He's not a likable guy. He's like the dorky dad or something. Just don't like the motherfucker. at all. He gonna run in 2020. I would leave the Democrat. I can't take this shit. Crooked Hillary about drove me crazy, but Tim Kaine trying to run, and all the Democrats say, the media's always said this, that he's the most boring senator ever. And he even says it himself. He's like, I know I'm boring. I don't even know why Hillary picked me. It's because he speaks Spanish fluently. But he even admits he's boring. The only way you can win is have a populist candidate. Well, you don't have to be populist, but you got to have somebody inspirational. Elizabeth Warren for 2020. Bernie or Elizabeth for 2020. If you agree with that, hit the subscribe button. I mean, because I don't know that many progressives by name. Actually, what's her name? Nina Turner. Oh, I love for Nina Turner to run. And I know these are all women, but that's all I can think of. But she, because progressives are the few and the proud. But Nina Turner, man, let her run. That would be some funny shit. Her and Trump go at it. I'll pay to see that, man. They'll have some good throw, back and forth. Oh, Nina Turner, to her credit, God bless her soul, she never endorsed Hillary Clinton. Never. And that's why she wasn't invited to the DNC. But she didn't. She stayed true to her word, just like old Bullet B. She didn't endorse that bitch. Oh, I saw a funny TMZ video the other day where they caught Bernie walking down the street, and there was this black woman out there saying, "Bernie, you fucking sell out. You sell out. You sell out." It was so funny. It was mean. It was just mean. Hey, Bernie Sanders, you're a fucking sellout. Sell out. He's not a sellout because people don't see this proposal he made. He made the strongest Democratic platform booklet in history, supposedly. And it is, because I've researched a little bit. It's a little booklet with progressive proposals. And he walks around with that booklet. He says, "This is why I endorsed her. We're going to get this shit passed." And he's not going to throw it away because Hillary didn't win. He's going to throw it. He's going to show it the Donald Duck. He's going to try to get him to pass some of this stuff. It's just increasing the minimum wage, health care being better, universal health care, college tuition free or college debt free. Hillary's rhetoric, because Hillary, she's so sneaky. She says Muslims, while Bernie will say Muslims, No, Hillary says Muslims. We got to help Muslim Americans. She says it so quick-witted that you don't know she's saying Muslims or Muslims. She just says like M-U-Z-E, Muslim. Was Bernie, see, I like Bernie because he's always getting fired up when he talks, because he's like Gorilla Monsoon. He's just a big New Yorker, and they're used to yelling and talking loud. He said, "We got to stop the racism and African Americans, women, gays, straights, Muslims." He's not pretending to pronounce it that way. That's just how he talks. Bernie be the last person to change his damn accent. So when he says Muslims, he means it. And we got this brand new Bernie Sanders interview with fucking Wolf's stupid ass on CNN. We got the interview, we got a reaction. And what Bill Mack and I are going to do here is count how many times Bernie Sanders says Muslims. I counted 4, but I weren't really counting on purpose. But we're going to have he says Muslims, because I just love that accent, man. It's a great accent. If somebody says, "Well, I hate New York accents," well, I understand that, but try Bernie Sanders. I think you'll like it, because he talks like the cook from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, "Come on in here and try these old pork and beans. Come on and try this. No, come here and try this chili. Come in here and try this chili. Yeah, come on in here and try this chili." That's Bernie if you go in his house. Without further ado, this is just a quickie. Bernie Sanders on Trump's win. Then we're going to show you the full interview with Wolf Blitzer's stupid ass. But I used to love NFL Blitz arcade game. That was a good game, dude. You remember that, right?
I do. I used to have it.
I used to love NFL Blitz. That's some good shit, man. Back in the late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Every American is dealing with the concept of the Donald Trump presidency in their own way. Earlier today, Vermont Senator and former Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders commented, "We have nothing polite to say right now." However, in recent
See, that was me on Facebook Wednesday morning. I'm like, what do I say at this crazy? I'm like, I have nothing polite to say right now. You know, that was me. I didn't know what to think, man. I didn't know what to think or say, because what threw me off was the electrical college, man. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
All them stuff. I went, huh? What?
You know what threw me though, dude, was that I was watching the debate or I watched the actual, you know, the election, the results and stuff up until, you know, Trump spoke. What threw me was before I went to bed, Trump was up by 1 million votes. How he lost those last 5 and Hillary gained 200,000 to win the popular vote. That was beyond me, because for how do you go and get 5 states and Trump picked them up except Minnesota and I think New Hampshire and where was the other one? New Hampshire and Maine, or I think it was New Hampshire.
No, she won. She won Maine.
I'm saying, but
I don't remember the details off the top of my head, but check this out. It's over. I mean, because the president-elect Trump, he met with Obama. He met with Paul Ryan. It's done deal. You know what I mean? She's not even trying to argue the popular vote. Al Gore didn't do that shit either.
Because before I went to bed, Trump had 1 million votes ahead of her, and then when I saw that I thought Trump had wrapped up both of them, because when I went to bed,
I thought so too. Yeah, I stayed up all night watching that shit, man. It was worth it though, because everybody on MSN, TYT, ABC were all hung over, because everybody was like, "Yeah, we've been up all night." You know, we all could relate on Wednesday. Very tired, because we didn't get that shit till about 2 a.m. You know, and I had to see the reactions that night. It was just, I was stunned. You know, I was like, "What?" And but yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, Bill does good research. He takes these tests. I do my research by reading Politics for Dummies and watching nothing but politics, really, on YouTube and stuff. I just enjoy it. It's like sports to me. Good soap opera too. So, you know, we try to do a little bit of homework, but we, you know, I know I don't know shit, but you know, I try to get better. That's why I'm progressive. I want to get better each year, not stay in the same spot. Right. But I think the electoral college is bullshit. Whoever gets the most votes should win. I mean, it's, like I said earlier, the electrical college, it's kind of cool. I like it in a way, but I just think whoever gets the most votes should win. I think that just makes more sense to me. You know, I like seeing the map and the red and the blue, but I hate seeing it divided like that, man. But now it's like less divided. Like with the Northeast, and she got thirsty from Jersey and California and Washington State.
Yeah, she got the West Coast and the Northeast and Trump.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'll play this probably next episode, but fuck, you know, I love Rachel Maddow. I mean, if she was straight, that'd be my kind of woman, because we talk all night about history and politics. But she said the dumbest shit the other day. She said Hillary Clinton lost Florida because of Jill Stein voters. And I'm like, no, that's Hillary's fault. Hillary's supposed to get your vote. So because of the percentage difference that, you know, that Jill Stein got in Florida.
Right.
And Jimmy Dore ripped Rachel Maddow apart for that. So I mean, it's kind of cutesy because Rachel's like, you know, Hillary would have won Florida if you people didn't vote for Jill Stein in that state. But that ain't Jill Stein's fault. You vote your conscience.
Right.
All right. Let's get to Bernie's stupid ass. I love Bernie.
Sanders has now released a statement reflecting on Trump in the White House. Bernie wrote, "To the degree that Mr. Trump is serious about pursuing policies that improve the lives of working families."
See, if he's serious, we'll work with him. And I never realized how short Pence is. But to be fair, Trump is tall. He's like 6'4", man, or 6'5". Because you remember on WWE Raw when him, Bobby Lashley, they cut that promo on a Umaga there in the ring. Trump was taller than Stone Cold, and I was like, "What? I ain't know he was that fucking tall." But it makes Pence look like that little small man. I love Pence though. Pence's so stupid, but I love him though. I respect his his young Earth mindset. But we just disagree there. It's like I like Super Nintendo, he likes Atari. It's all good.
In this country, I and other progressives are prepared to work with him to the degree that he pursues race.
And see, you can see how proud Pence is, because Pence was like, man, I never thought I'd be the VP elect, and hell, I never thought I'd be the vice president coming up. He really is humbled by that, I believe.
Yeah,
He's been a senator. He's been a senator for 12 years, and he just never thought he'd be picked to be a VP, I would assume. And he's like, man, me and my small family, even though he's got a lot of wealth, he's like, man, I can't believe we're on the Republican ticket for presidency. And I didn't feel good for Trump. I felt good for Pence though, because like I told my conservative friends, I said congratulations. I feel good for him, even though it's not my man.
Yeah, well, Pence had a lot to deal with, because when this stuff with Trump came out, Pence's image is as a Christian family man, and and governing, and it was hard on him trying to fight off all this stuff with Trump, with the whole
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard when you're when you're sincere in your Christianity and you're trying to defend bigotry. It's kind of tricky.
And he had contemplated a couple times. They in his circles that I felt
they disagree. They disagree on a lot of shit. But you know what, Bill? That's democracy. But hold on. One thing though, before I forget, Trump don't like reading. Trump did not do any debate prep against Hillary. He's like, I don't care about that shit. I ain't got to study for that. So how the fuck's he gonna be in the Oval Office? I would not be surprised if January 20th comes, or no, give it to like February, and Trump's like, you know what, this job is too much of a headache. I want to be not discharged, but I want to be pardoned, and then Pence will be president.
Yeah, but I'll just comment on that.
But like you said, a lot of people will help him do it. But if he gets frustrated,
Trump has got to me, I believe Trump is going to be the president that's going to be one of the ones out of the last few we've had to heavily rely on his advisors and those next close to him.
Yeah. Trump
don't really know. That's why he said in his interview with Obama, he said, I'm going to rely on his counsel, because I feel like he really will, because he doesn't, like you said, he don't.
Yeah, and that was nice of him, because I don't want us to go back. I mean, we progressed 8 years with Obama. I don't want us to go all the way back. At least keep some of it. I know Republicans disagree with Obamacare and they want to oppose it. Hey, I agree with it. I don't like Obamacare that much either, but I get that. But don't backtrack 8 years, all of it. You know what I mean? It's just going to slow us down. And
well, I feel like Obamacare I agree with Hillary in that it needs to be tweaked, because if you look at our state, for instance, while Obamacare, he intended for it to work, for everybody to have a chance. But when you look at Obamacare, the way it's set up, these companies are pulling out this upcoming year. Just a little bit of knowledge for people in North Carolina. Our healthcare, there's only going to be one company run through Obamacare, and that's Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The other ones dropped out. So while he intended for, I agree with Hillary there. If they're going to,
they want Hillary to win. They were expecting Hillary to win.
Yeah, just tweak it. I'd rather for them to tweak it if they can get it to work. But in this position we're in, it's too expensive to afford. But and it's supposed to be intended for us. That's middle class the middle class to be able to afford it, to have it. It's good to know that he cared enough to want all Americans to have it, but the realistic of it is that we can't afford it. We're in that middle ground where we can't afford basic Medicaid, Medicare, but we make too much for that, but we can't afford if you keep up with the
my thing. Yeah. Let me flip it to this. My thing is Obama. Y'all watched his interview on Bill Maher Monday actually it was Friday, but I watched it on Monday, where he was just saying that President-elect Trump is not competent to be a president if he won. All this other stuff. My thing is, and Obama always says, I love being president, but this job is very very frustrating sometimes. And Obama, to me, is a very patient man. You have to be a man of patience, like Ronald Reagan, Obama, to be the executive office chief. But I don't see Trump. Trump don't have. To me, Trump doesn't have patience. To me,
Trump is a businessman. That's not a politician. Those are two different things.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just if Obama, if the job gets to Obama and he gets frustrated and he grows gray hairs in 8 years, I mean, imagine Trump. His fake hair is just going to say, "Boo boy." Well, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I'm having enough time to really show you the news story, but Trump has backpedaled on the wall. He said, "I ain't gonna build no wall. We're gonna build a fence." A fence. Because think about it, ladies and gentlemen, you Trump supporters, with all due respect, what sounds more attractive? I'm gonna build a great wall on the southern border, or hey, I'm gonna build a fence. Because the wall don't make any sense. The fence, they can see through it, and with the wall, it's too solid and people can't see around it. It's a populist campaign. Bernie's guilty too. Free stuff, well, I ain't gonna say free stuff because I love Bernie, but he ain't gonna pass half that shit. Because Chris Matthews said, "Bernie, how you gonna get this stuff passed? What Supreme Judge you got?" And Bernie was like, "I don't know. Go ask him." And Trump's like, "We're going to build a great wall on the southern border." Now he's the president-elect. He's like, "We're going to build a fence." A fence. I love that shit. Because Bill Mack and I, we're old school. We've seen election days come and go. Yeah. And, man, they have a personality reset once the election's over. Did I say a wall? What are you talking about, a wall? I'm going to build a fence, man. It's like a doggy fence.
We're going to get one of those underground fences.
Well, like I said, build an underground tunnel from Mexico to America and put wild animals in it. And if the Mexicans can get through that tunnel, they've earned their citizenship here. They earned that motherfucker. All right, well, let's move on. We're just short on time, Bill. We could do this 24/7. We just short on time, good buddy.
Yes, we know.
Xenophobic and anti-environment policies, we will vigorously oppose him.
See, I like that because Bernie is like, "Hey, we welcome Trump. We'll be good to him." And I'm like, "What?" But then he turns around and says, "Hey, he fucks up. We're going to oppose him." I love that. And he said the same thing about Hillary before election day. He's like, "If she don't stick to this Democratic progressive platform, I'm gonna go after her ass." So I like that. Because Obama's like, "Welcome," whereas Bernie's like, "Hey, you do what you do. You gonna do good, or we're coming for you." And like Booker T said, Okay. But let's hear Bernie Sanders' full CNN interview and count how many times he says Muslim. Yeah. And Wolf Blitzer was a fucking Clinton sellout. He never gave Bernie a chance. And now he's talking about, what if Bernie won? Yeah, like, motherfucker, you should have said this once, because the Democratic Party, the establishment did not want Trump or Bernie to win because they're populist candidates. They're not sellouts. They're not going to do any big favors to the donors and the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers don't want a populist candidate, basically. And that's why Wolf and all them, they're all sellouts. And they made sure Bernie didn't win. But now they're thinking like, well, shit, we should have just got behind Bernie. People showed up to his rallies. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, I can't stand Wolf. I used to like Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I am so sorry if there was a slight hiccup there. Fucking internet issues over here. Either that or Hillary's messing with my internet server. So either one. Anyway, let's move on to the next news story here. Bernie Sanders, CNN full interview after the Trump victory. "I will oppose President Trump. Waitress, a lemon, please. It's gonna be huge." Muslims. Oh, that's right. And we're going to count how many times our dear leader, Bernie Sanders, who should be president, by the way, listen to this man's elegance, his intellect, his rationale, his logic. And we could have had him for president. But motherfuckers like this Wolf Blitzer, Clinton donator, hell no, you ain't get no Bernie. But we wish we did now because we thought Hillary would win. But she wrote checks her ass Clinton cash. Clinton cash, buddy. Now, so now my complaint with Wolf is he's going to say, if you beat Hillary in the primary, and that's a big if, fuck you, Wolf. That looked like Bernie can't win. That was not a big if because Bernie had that bitch beat in 22 states on paper, arguably more and more turnout. More people would go vote for Bernie than Hillary, obviously. The primaries were rigged. The general election was real. That's how Trump won. That's why I was shocked because I was like, it's all smoke and mirrors. They play golf. I'm like, Trump won? I thought he was what? A what? Say what? You know?
Exactly.
But let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, we're short on time, so I don't know if I'm going to get you the Elizabeth Warren interview and reactions, but stay tuned. Next episode, I got you guys covered. There's so much to cover, man. We can only fit so much. I don't want to, I try not to go over an hour with the podcast because I simply want to, I just want to make good videos for you guys. And I feel like, because I've made 3-hour videos before. Check out coverage of the RNC. Fucking 3 hours of good feedback of me talking. And it got like 45 views. I was like, well, people just, I think an hour is a sweet spot. If you guys listen to the Don, Tony, Kevin Castle show, they're about an hour, sometimes 2 hours. And I notice around the 90-minute mark, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of hearing Don, Tony. Okay, I get it, But so anyway, I'm just glad you guys are here. Bill.
That's right.
Okay, and I only say that because Hillary is messing with my internet server. Just making sure. All right, Wolf, let's take it away. Now remember, Bernie Sanders, independent. He works with Republicans. He works with Democrats. Because the independent is the best way to go if you really think about it, because you just pick which position, which strategy makes the most sense.
Right.
Do we go in there through the right way, or do we go in there through the left way? Which way do we do it?
That's true.
Bernie Sanders, like, waitress, a limit. I'm a southpaw and right hand. Goddamn it, do either one. Either one. That's why he swings his arms like a big old ape like that, because he's on both sides. He's pointing at each side.
But the former Democratic presidential candidate, Bernie Sanders, is warning Donald Trump not to turn the people's anger against minorities.
That's right. Bernie's going to quote Booker T. We're coming for you and I. Told you, man, Bernie don't play, because I watch him on C-SPAN sometimes. You seen how passionate Bernie is in the Senate when he's talking about, we spend 52% on the military, but we don't have a major enemy. What are you doing? He's real passionate about it. But yeah. Look at this man. This is the Godfather. This is Gorilla Monsoon. He fucking chop block choke slam me like Andre. And you guys pick President Trump, President-elect Trump. How about President Reject Trump, huh? Fucking Bernie Sanders right in. Oh, we're going in about Bernie Sanders 2020, buddy. Bernie, stay alive for us, man. When you being an angry Jew, it's not good for your heart, man. You're getting old. You shouldn't get all fired up like that. It's true. So Bernie, be a Buddhist, man, and save and breathe. And then when 2020 comes, fucking let loose.
Senator from Vermont is joining us now live for his first TV interview since the election. Senator, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So a key reason why Donald Trump won was his anti-trade message that appealed to a lot of voters in states like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, very similar to your own message that you used throughout your campaign against Hillary Clinton for the Democratic nomination. If you had been his competitor, and that's a big if you had been his competitor.
Big if, bullshit. She rigged the primaries against Bernie. He had a great shot of winning.
Senator, do you think you could have beaten him?
Yes.
I
Hold on, Lee. I know you guys get mad for me stopping this, but I love the way Bernie Sanders answers questions because he's an old school politician. He's going to talk and talk till you forget what the fucking question was. But he gives, it's like if Bernie would answer questions a certain way, it'd be against the very good man that he is. You know, he's never ran a negative campaign ad in his life, you know. So he's not very PC. I just think he gives really good answers. But I'm the same way. I want to know, do you think you would have beat Trump, Bernie? Do you? Well, it's over with now. What's the point? I'm like, well, do you ever think? Does it ever occur to you on the toilet, at least? You know, he don't want to get in trouble, what it is. He just don't want to get in trouble. Because if he says, well, yeah, I think if I was a nominee, I would beat Trump. Yeah. Then Hillary Clinton and the SJWs and the feminist Tim Kaine will be like, oh my God, he said he would beat Trump. He would do a better job than Hillary. He's sexist. Because Tim Kaine is a known feminist, by the way. Another reason not to like him. Hey, I ain't got no problems with feminists. Actually, a good philosopher, Alan Watts, says to carry a little bit of feminism in you is not a bad thing.
Right.
But SJWs, and because you're more in touch with your feelings and stuff. Alan Watts, ladies and gentlemen, great philosopher. Go check him out on YouTube. But anyway, if you need some sanity after Trump. But yeah, I mean, Bernie can't say nothing, man. They'll fuck in this PC world. They'll call him sexist and all this other shit. So that's why he's not gonna say, "Oh hell yeah, I would have beat Trump."
Right.
Right.
I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to do Monday morning quarterbacking right now. The election is over. Donald Trump won. Between you and me, Wolf, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to run against him, but that did not end up being the case. Right now, where we are is where we are. I intend to work with.
See, he said I would love to have the opportunity to run against him, but he did not answer the question, which was, do you think you would have defeated Trump? You see, a little workaround there, but yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful answer. He just don't want to get in trouble, you know. I don't know. You got to ask them. You know, it's just rhetoric.
President Trump on those issues where he will, in fact, work for the middle class and work.
That's right. He's gonna work for the middle class because Bernie, as long as he's alive, he's gonna put a foot in his ass. And I'll quit doing this, but I mean, just think, ladies and gentlemen, just think for a moment. We got President-elect Trump for the next 4 years. Just forget about that for a moment and enjoy this. Imagine if Bernie won the election. How we would be in tears of joy right now if that happened. We'd be singing and dancing with Bernie in the blackest church you can find. We'd be so happy right now. So just get back, relax, and just imagine if he was the victor here. Wishful thinking. In the alternative universe, he won.
Families in this country, I will vigorously oppose them.
And see, this motherfucker Bernie, he cares about the middle class because he's not a sellout. And yes, he endorsed crooked Hillary. It was to pass the strongest Democratic platform in history. He's got the booklet. He brings it around. He's like, "This is why I did it. I'm gonna hold her to it," and and things like that. So anyway, Bernie inspired me. You know, I lost Tiff, man. I got back into politics, and Bernie, you know, spoke to me supernaturally. He said, "Get your ass out that bed and go out there and campaign. You know, make a progressive podcast." You know, hey, that fucker inspired me, man. And then he lost, and I was like, "Okay, that hurts." And I was like, "Well, maybe my party will win." Hillary Clinton loses and gives a very sad concession speech. I'm like, well, goddamn, is anything good gonna happen? You know, but that don't bother me. What bothered me was how many red states we got. But I get it though. But people don't get it. They're gonna say, well, people are racist. That is not true. That's partially true. It's because nobody cared to go vote for Hillary because she did not have a message and she did not inspire people. Hey, Hillary, okay, let's say she never got in trouble. Hillary's a good politician. She's a sweet talker. She's a nice lady, blah, blah, blah. Let's say that. She still don't inspire people, you know? And when she does, she sounds like a bitch because they told it, because Hillary, she'll get on the microphone and she'll yell at the rallies, trying to sound like Bernie. But when she does it, she sounds like a bitch. That's the problem. Get out there and vote for me. Get out there and vote. Like, goddamn, woman, shut the hell up. Who you talking to? You know, Bernie be like, we're going to change America. We're going to rewrite politics, interest limit, and we're going to make this country huge. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, hallelujah. You know, he'd be like, oh, okay. I'll go vote. Shit. All right. Take it away, Bernie, our main event, because we love Bernie. My highest rated videos are Bernie Sanders. People fucking love this man. I love him too. And he don't try to change his language or rhetoric. He don't try to change his accent. He don't try to talk PC. You know, that's why he'll say Muslim, because he ain't trying to say it a certain way. He just says Muslim. He don't know what it is. Hit BernieSanders.gov. When Bernie Sanders goes into the Senate, and he's using his, his government email, his password. I know his password because I'm a Bernie bro. I'm the #1 Bernie bro. I know his password. It's Muslims. Muslims 28423. Bernie Sanders at .gov.com password Muslims 28423. Oh, let's count Muslim count. See how many we get here. And ladies and gentlemen, don't dislike me for picking on Bernie. I'm picking on Bernie out of love because I love the man. That's why I'm fucking with him. It's not hate. So Trump people out there got the former RNC chairman Bill the Mac on here. The chillax RNC man that I like to watch on MSN because he just chill, man. Yeah. Now remember, Bernie was trying to lie and freak out. We can't elect this monster. We can't elect this monster. Oh my God! But he was just saying that to help Hillary win, of course. Now we get to hear the real Bernie. Well, Trump ain't too bad, shit. Because I'm in the middle. So yeah, we work with that motherfucker to see. He better do right. I'm gonna beat his ass because I'm Gorilla Monsoon. Change my shades, and I'll be gorilla on his ass.
If he appeals to racism or sexism or some of the other discriminatory measures that he brought up during his campaign.
But it never crossed your mind that
it never crossed your mind you would win. I wish Bernie would answer that question. Okay, just a reminder: Muslim count. We're 0 right now. We'll see if he says it.
you might have done better against him? You might have actually won if you had been the Democratic nominee?
What good does it do now? The election is over, and Hillary. I did my best to see that Hillary Clinton get elected. I was out in some 12 states during the last week with 21 rallies. So the election is over, and we got to look to the future. And what we have got to demand, I think, is that Mr. Trump keep the promises that he made to working families. You'll remember, Wolf, he talked about how he was going to be a champion of working families. Well, I hope he will raise the minimum wage so that people who are working for $9 or $10 an hour get the kind of raise they're entitled to.
Yes, that's what I was disappointed about when Trump won. I was like, man, I really want to see the minimum wage go up. So yes, that made me really happy when I heard that, because maybe they can work together and get the minimum wage up for people out there working for starvation wages. People work full time at Walmart and live in starvation. I don't think that's right, Bill.
No, it ain't.
I hope he will do pay equity for women. Women should not be getting 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. I hope he'll rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, and I look forward to working with him if he chooses to do that and create millions of decent paying jobs. And
I look forward to working with him if he wants to create, millions of new jobs. He's just saying he's not sucking up to him like Obama did. He's like, hey, if he's got some sense, I'll work with him, Kind of like It's kind of like Free Willy, the movie Free Willy, when they adopted the kid and he was kind of like a juvenile at first. And it was like, we'll work with him. We'll work with him. And he finally started working back and he started playing and he made friends with that whale, Willie. And Free Willy will make them weird sounds that my ex used to make in the middle of the night. Wee, 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 wee. You remember Free Willy? He'd make them noises, the whale.
Yeah.
Ooh, wee, 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 wee. That's what my ex used to say. You know.
On trade, absolutely, we need a new trade policy. I will work with them to get corporate America to start investing in this country, not just in China and in Mexico.
Now, very quickly, if I didn't mention this before, that Trump, Bernie agree on trade because it doesn't matter it don't matter your party. If something makes sense in reality, it just fucking makes sense. Yeah.
That's true.
When you press the gas pedal, the car accelerates. All parties would agree. It just on trade, it just makes sense.
That's true.
Okay. Waiting for the Muslim.
I hope, he told the American people, Wolf, that he didn't have to pay any taxes. He is a multi-billionaire. He doesn't have to pay a nickel in federal taxes because he knows how corrupt the tax system is. Well,
he's the one to fix it. That's what Trump will say. Yeah, I cheated the tax code. That's why I'm going to fix it. But that's amazing how they elected somebody that admitted to not paying taxes and he's being audited as we speak. But it's not the Republicans. It's not Trump. It was Hillary. She couldn't inspire anybody.
If he knows how corrupt that system is, I hope very much that he'll work with progressives to create a tax system which, in fact, asks billionaires and multinational corporations to stop paying their fair share of taxes.
Senator, did you personally advise Hillary Clinton to spend more time talking about those issues, specifically to working class white voters in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, issues that you champion?
Well, I think it's no secret that our campaign had a significant impact on the Democratic platform. No secret that Secretary Clinton.
Yeah, Bernie, you cost her the election. You had a big impact, buddy. Because your fucking supporters would not vote for her. They voted Trump. Significant impact indeed.
Supported the Democratic platform, which I think is a document that, if adopted, will transform this country.
That's the progressive platform document he's talking, the booklet he made, the reason he endorsed Hillary. So, he's trying to get these progressive policies passed. So there's nothing wrong with him endorsing her. I didn't like it either, but he had a reason to do it. And that meeting they had after the DC district primary, they had a meeting for like 2 hours and they were fucking arguing with each other. He even said that. And that's when he came up with the progressive platform booklet, and he carries it around like the Bible. He's like, look, we're going to get this stuff passed. That's why I endorsed it.
So I think Secretary Clinton, understood the need to talk about raising the minimum wage to a living wage, to make sure that public colleges and universities in this country are tuition free, at least for the middle class, to make sure that we do not pass the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
GPP.
So I think, in that sense, I think Secretary Clinton did listen to what not just I had to say, but many other progressives.
Progressive, baby.
Have you spoken with her since Tuesday night?
I have not. I owe her a call, and I will make that call, but I have not.
Bernie don't want to call her because she's going to be a bitch. Fuck you, Bernie. You and your Bernie bros and millennial voters. Because, they don't like each other, man. They just don't like each other. Yeah. But yeah, call her up. Bernie probably scared to call her up. He's like, well, I understand that you're upset. It's all your fault, Bernie. All your fault, because I got to blame somebody. That's the face Bernie makes when he kisses his wife Jane. That's the face he made when he endorsed Hillary and kissed her on the booty. Kiss My Ass Club, started by Vince, embraced by Crooked Hillary. Yeah, I'm just playing.
But I think really now, what we have got. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Finish your thought, please.
What we have got to be doing now is focusing on the realities of where we are. Donald Trump won the election. He didn't get a majority of the popular vote, but he did win the electoral vote. He will become the next president. And our job is twofold. Our job is to make sure that the anger that so many people in this country feel, because they are, in fact, working longer hours for low wages. They're worried about their kids. If they're in rural America, they're seeing their downtown stores boarded up. Their kids are leaving town because there are no jobs in that community.
Yeah, because the mom and pop shops, the B stores, are being taken over by Walmart. Because I've seen a Walmart documentary about that shit. Walmart comes to a small town and sucks up all the small little business jobs.
Yep.
And you would think it would create jobs because people can work at Walmart, but they pay them starvation wages. You know,
Exactly.
it's what Bernie talks about, man, every day. And when he's in the Senate and he's an angry Jew, that's the face he makes right there.
Youth unemployment astronomically high. People are angry. They have a right.
I'm sorry for the interruptions, but this is a reaction. So if you want to see the full video, you're going to have to look it up yourself. But the thing is, Bernie, he's always fought for the middle class. I think he's passionate about his job. He cares. I think he legitimately cares about the middle class. He's always fighting for it, man. He's the most passionate senator I've ever seen. And I don't see a lot of senators. I mean, like on C-SPAN. I mean, he's really, I believe he's sincere. I really do believe that.
Oh, yeah.
And people read that about him. They saw that in him. And that's why he had 13 million votes back in the primaries. People love this man. He's real. He's the real deal Holyfield. Sure, he might lie a little bit. They said his line was like at a 20% rate. Hillary was at 30. Trump was at like 56. It's not bad for a politician because, like Hillary said, I got a public face and I got a political face, and that's what cost her the election probably. Because AKA, you're a liar. You say that. You don't say that, man. You're breaking kayfabe.
To be angry, but we have got to channel that anger against the people who caused the decline of the middle class and so many people living in poverty. Not take it out on our neighbors who may happen to be Muslim or Latino or
one Muslim count one. I counted one.
That is demagoguery, and I will do everything that I can to oppose that. Let's deal with the real issues, that the rich are getting richer, that we are moving toward an oligarchic form of society where a handful of billionaires control the economy as a result of Citizens United, control to a significant degree our political system, and, may I say, control our media.
That is so true. The top 1/10 of 1% controls everything. The top establishment, because it's just one big fucking club and we're not invited. And Bernie's been trying to bust that bubble for years. I wish he ran for president when John Kerry did back then. But it'd been really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Or back in 2000, but we got Al Snore. Al Snore, like, let's plant a tree. Yeah. He wasn't even invited to the DNC. And then he's going to turn around and campaign for Hillary. I'm like, I wouldn't campaign for her. She didn't invite me. But money talks, man. Because he loves trees and money's green. So anyway, so one Muslim count, Muslim. No, we got one so far.
So there's a lot of work to be done, but let's not take out our frustration against the poor or minorities.
Senator, I'm curious, what was your reaction Tuesday night as you watched the results come in and she started losing in Florida, North Carolina, Virginia? I'm sure you were watching TV. Were you surprised?
Watching CNN, as a matter of fact. Well,
thank you.
Fuck Wolf. Guess what? Hey, I appreciate CNN, but I watched it on the dirty MSNBC because I love me some Rachel Mandow and Brian Williams because he got sent down to NXT. And I watched it on TYT. Every time TYT went to a break, I turn it to MSNBC because they have better people on there. They have political strategists and whatnot. TYT, it was Cenk Uygur, Anna, and my man Jimmy Dore. So I was just flipping back and forth during that,
Oh, yeah.
because I love Cenk Uygur's reaction. oh man, Donald Trump just won Michigan. You know, it's just like, wow. It was like so depressing.
I thought, I thought as we went into the day that there was a 2-to-1 chance that Hillary Clinton would win. So I thought there was a real possibility that Trump could win. I thought that the likelihood was that Hillary Clinton would win. And I was sad for 2 reasons. Obviously, I worry very much about some of the very discriminatory and inflammatory things that Trump said during the campaign. This is America, and we are not going to throw out 11 million people in this country who are undocumented. We're not going to turn against one of the largest religions in the world, people who are Muslim. I do not want to see.
Number 2, Muslim 2. Keeping count of how many times he says Muslim. That was number 2.
Muslim kids, and we're hearing
3. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the inside joke between Bill and I. You know, we love the way Bernie says Muslim. You know, it's unique. And he's not trying to be PC, because if he was trying to be PC, he would say Muslim. You know.
No, the Democrats say Muslim. The Republicans say Muslim.
Yeah, but I think Bernie just says it naturally, because you got to hear the way Hillary says it, because Hillary's like Muslim. Muslim. She's trying to sound like, but Bernie's like Muslim, because that's my accent. You know. Just a little joke we had. That's all, ladies and gentlemen.
who feel intimidated in the country and frightened in living in the country where they grew up. That is not America. We do not want to continue the attacks against women that were so prominent in Trump's campaign. But I hope that on those areas where Trump talked about the needs, where he was right, the middle class, working class of this country is hurting. Let's work together to improve lives for millions of people who are now living in despair and who have the right to do a lot better than they are today.
Absolutely. Amen.
And I'm sure you're happy, like you, he opposes the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and that apparently is not going to go anywhere under a President Trump. And Senator, you
That's right. It ain't going nowhere under Trump, and it wouldn't have went nowhere under Bernie either. Take that, Hillary. Ha, ha, ha.
made a big issue out of that as well. You also tweeted a stark warning, though, to Trump today, and I'll put it up on the screen. You tweeted, if Donald Trump takes people's anger and turns it against Muslims, Hispanics, African Americans, and women, we will be his worst nightmare.
That's the Bernie I love right there. You know? He takes it against Muslims, Hispanics, African Americans, women. We will be his worst fucking nightmare, buddy. You know. My thing is, if you're Muslim American and you want to practice the Quran, I have no problem with that. And the only thing I don't like is extremist religion, Islam. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just a moderate Muslim, the Quran, it's your religious freedom to practice that. You know, but you know, that's fine. Go to a Muslim church, do whatever you want to do. You know, just don't go around saying, hey, I'm going to behead you because we have a different religion. You know, just be peaceful, you know. And shout out to the Asian Americans out there that practice Chinese Taoism and Buddhism. Shout out to you, because like myself, we keep it quiet. And if you're Baptist Bill, God bless you. See, my thing is, you know, as I've said, I'm non-religious, but I have a lot of respect for religious people, because I know how hard it is to find peace in life and happiness in life. So you can be whatever makes you happy, man. If it makes you happy, go for it. You know, I'm just going my path, you go your path, but we're all going to the same place, and it's just different terminologies, you know.
So tell us what you mean by that.
What? They're going to put an ad in the middle of it? Dude trying to make some money on here. Yeah, I'm big on religious freedom, man. But, I mean, you're just going to have – it's just the Muslims, they're just a couple of centuries behind us with the extremists, extreme Islam. That's all I'm saying, Bill. And you shouldn't have you shouldn't disagree with that. Oh man. There we go. Is you gonna play?
Will be his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So tell us what you mean by that. If a President Trump were to enact, for example, a ban on Muslims, a temporary ban, or mass deportations, what will you do about it? You're in the minority in the U.S. Senate.
The overwhelming majority.
That's right. The majority of the House and the Senate is fucking Republican. This is scary, man. But we might be outnumbered, but that's when we're going to have people be educated and get into politics themselves. Protest all day and actually get into office. Make a difference.
There you go.
Yes, I've seen this. And yes, I've seen this interview before. That's how I knew how to say that. Let's see if Bernie says that, though.
Of the American people, including people who voted for Trump, do not agree with those types of policies. And our job is to bring the people together, to organize, to put pressure on the administration and on the Congress not to go through with those policies which are so un-American. Here is the simple truth. The people, so many people in our country, Wolf, are angry because you know why? They've seen their jobs go to China. Their kids can't afford to go to college. They can't afford childcare. They can't afford, if they're living in a city, often can't afford the high cost of rent. They're angry. And they're seeing almost all new income and wealth in this country going to the top 1%. Rich are getting richer. Everybody else is getting poorer. That is the reality. But what it would be...
See, spirituality and reality is one and the same. He just said the rich get rich and poor get poorer. I know you agree with that, Bill.
That's true.
See, that's what Bernie was, man. He ran a good moral campaign, man, with a face just like that.
Unacceptable for a president to do is take that anger, that frustration, that hurt, and turn it against poor, turn it against people of color, turn it against Muslims. That is demagoguery.
Four. I call four.
Yep.
Of the worst kind. And if Trump attempts to do that, I will do everything that I can, along with millions of other people in this country, to say, sorry, that is not what the United States of America is about.
So what's your advice, because you disagree with Donald Trump on a lot of these kinds of issues, what's your specific advice, Senator, to Democrats as they deal with Republicans in Congress? Should they obstruct all this kind of potential legislation? What advice do you have for them?
This is what I believe. You know, Trump talked about his concerns about outsourcing, his concerns about a bad trade policy. If he is serious about reforming our trade policies and creating jobs in America and not in China, let us work with him. Trump.
Amen, brother. If he's serious about it, let's work with him. That's how you say it, you know.
That's right.
You don't say it. You don't say it like Obama. Oh, let's just embrace him and do everything. You know, if he's fair, we work with him. Because Booker T, we're coming for you, You okay, Bill? I know I talk a lot on my show here, man. Look, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. Though, if you're here on Bill Mack's channel, please subscribe. If you're on my channel, thank you very much. But yeah, subscribe to Bill, and you'll see our videos first on his channel. Because, like I said, YouTube wanted to strike me, so there you go, strike. So hopefully the strike will eventually be removed. I've had it appealed. I ain't heard shit back from YouTube. That's a whole different story, whole different rant. Let's go.
Talked about a corrupt campaign finance system. He's a billionaire. He was able to fund a large part of his campaign. Well, you know what? Not every candidate is a billionaire. If Trump is serious about understanding that we have a corrupt campaign finance system where special interests are able to buy politicians, I would hope that Trump will work with us to overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision.
Absolutely. See, I love that, man, because when he had to work with Hillary, he was like, Trump's a monster, no sense at all. He's a monster. And now you get to hear the real Bernie, the independent Bernie. If he's serious, we can get some shit done, man. We can get some shit done. I love that.
Here's one thing.
Trump ain't a monster. Trump ain't a monster, Bill. You know.
Here's the thing, though, dude. Hillary spent more. He's talking about campaigning and stuff. Hillary spent $400 million more than Trump did.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to, keep stopping the video. Absolutely, because the Clinton Foundation made $3 billion over the course of it, of having that. Because fucking dumbass Tim Kaine says 90% of the profit donations go to charity. He's got that shit wrong. Only 10% goes. Absolutely, yeah. Because for one thing, Trump's not a billionaire. At least not. That's what I heard. But you seen, ladies and gentlemen, and Bill, you seen all them campaign ads against Trump from the Clinton family, from the Clinton Foundation.
Right.
She invested a lot more money. Trump had to raise money for his campaign ads, and that last campaign he had against Hillary, called The Closing Arguments, that was I'll play it on here because it's only a couple of minutes right after this. That was a beautiful ad. And at the time, I was thinking, well, Trump's going to lose. But if Trump would have ran that ad the whole time, he would have defeated her, because he was basically saying what Bernie was saying. He wasn't insulting her, nothing like that. He was like, let's make it great. Let's bring these jobs back. Let's do this. Let's do that. The Closing Argument. Beautiful ad from Trump. If he just stayed like that. But you know what? He won anyway. But, yeah, because and see, that was another thing, as I was telling our mutual friend Ravenous, that because he kept saying, I can't believe Hillary lost. He voted for Trump, but he's like, I can't believe she lost. I can't make sense of it. I'm like, dude, it's easy, because we've been following this stuff.
Right.
But she ran so many negative ads, and MSN talked so much negativity about Trump that it turned him babyface. It turned him into the good guy, because when you pick on somebody so much, people are going to start caring about that person, because it was shady. It wasn't organic. Trump is a monster. Hey, check out this ad. He's a monster. He's a monster. People got tired of hearing it. Yeah, Trump's a monster. We get it. You know what? I'm voting for Trump. Fuck him. That was the attitude.
Yeah.
If I said on my Facebook and sitting there and said, you know what? My former friend Bill Mack, he's an asshole. He's just an asshole. People be like, yeah, okay. And then Tuesday, you know what? Bill's an asshole. If I said that every single fucking day, people be like, you know what? Brandon's the asshole, not Bill. Yeah, that's what it backfired. Because, dude, we know psychology from fucking wrestling, because all it is psychology and fucking with the crowd reactions and stuff like that. I said, man, they're forcing these negative ads on us to the point where people are going to turn on it. Like, you can't force Roman Reigns to be a good guy. You can't force stuff on us. And that was my first thought when Trump won Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. That was my thought. I said, that's what happens when you try to tell people to vote a certain way and force these negative campaign ads down our throats.
Exactly.
It backfires, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up this wisdom with Bernie, man.
And move toward a campaign process by which big money and wealthy contributors cannot control the political process. If Trump is serious about his concerns about the needs of working people, let's rebuild the infrastructure. He's talked about that. I've talked about it. We can create millions of jobs rebuilding our roads and our bridges and our water systems, airports, our rail system. If he was not just into
that's what I care about too, brother Bernie, is rebuilding our bridges and airports. We just had a bridge collapse during Hurricane Matthew. That's what I'm into, because when I drive around this country, Bill, I get really depressed sometimes because it looks so poor. But we're the richest country in the world. We just don't invest money in things we need to invest into. You got the top 1/10 of 1%, just keeping the money, man, putting it offshore. Apple, they stash probably billions of dollars in offshore bank accounts to not pay taxes, to get these bridges and shit like that fixed, man. That's why I love Bernie, man. He loves America, and he just wants to fucking fix the shit, right? Right? Hello? Uh-oh. Hello? Okay, I hope we're still here.
rhetoric And if he was sincere about it, let's work together. So there are a lot of areas I think we can work together if he was sincere in what he said during the campaign. But if he is going to resort to bigotry, trying to divide us up, we will oppose him tooth and nail.
What is your message to the protesters? A lot of young people that we saw in the streets, for example, last night, who are very unhappy with the results. What do you say to those young people, and so many of them, as you know, supported your campaign?
I would say to them, number one, do not despair. Get involved in the political process. The views that we hold, that we should be a vibrant democracy and not move to an oligarchy, the views that we should have a non-discriminatory society, the views that we have got to tackle climate change and transform our energy system, that we need to make our public colleges and universities tuition-free. We have to deal with this grotesque level of income and wealth inequality. All of those issues are what a majority of the American people support. So I would urge those young people, get involved politically. Run for school board, run for state legislature. And by the way, a lot of people have done that. We've got some really good victories as part of an offshoot of what our campaign was about.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's kind of unrealistic, but it is realistic. It just takes time. And see, I ain't in the political office. The only thing I could do, ladies and gentlemen, is build a progressive movement right here on YouTube and spread the word and hopefully inspire other people here. So if you're a progressive or you just got common sense, subscribe to me. Let's build this channel up and let's get this message out there. Right? You agree with that, Bill?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, because he says he's right. You want to change the world, get into the office, do things. I say, hell, practice good morals too. Be good to your neighbors. Just be good to people. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be taken care of. I don't mean taken care of as a free ride. I just mean, people need each other, and be good to your neighbors. Be good to your neighbors, and practice good morals. And if you have the intellect and the patience to get into the office, then God bless you. Because if I can get in the office, I would. And I'll try to make a little difference here and there if I could. But my dumb ass, the only thing I could do is just try to make a really good progressive YouTube channel for you guys. And, Bill, he's got his own opinions and political strategies. And that's great. That's democracy. Because if we were clones, it wouldn't be that good. It would suck. We're going to make this country better. And if you guys will sub the Bill Max channel, it only makes it stronger. It only makes it stronger. Let our voices get heard. Please. I can't send you a t-shirt or anything like that. But we are the progressive players. The progressive players is going to be my brand. And if you want to be a progressive player, because we need an army here, all you have to do is subscribe. You ain't got to donate. You ain't got to do no crazy shit like that. All you got to do, you subscribe, you're a progressive player,
That's right.
Bill say he conservative, but he say, I am inspired to be a progressive. He's a progressive conservative, because you can be a progressive conservative, progressive Democrat. Progressive just means you're going to get some shit done. You don't fuck around. You're a bruiser, gonna fuck them up. We progress through it. It's like when you're fucking your girlfriend real hard.
Yeah.
Progressive. Yeah, when you're fucking a girl, you want to be a progressive when you're fucking a girl. And I'm sorry for my language, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is, I'm 33 years old and I get kind of lame sometimes. But I'm just saying, I think a girlfriend would prefer a progressive style versus a conservative, civil, or liberal, mushy style. You gotta be progressive. How'd you like that? Because we had a victory. I gave you 5 orgasms. And my ex Carrie be like, I never had 5 orgasms in a row before. And that's because I was progressive. I got shit passed. Progressive sex is the best, because that's why we the progressive players. I told my black coworkers that. He's like, what's a good faction name for it? I said, dude, we the progressive players. Makes sense all around. Like, well, yeah, that sounds good. Progressive players, TPP, the real TPP. All right, let's go. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for talking crazy. Just kind of sleepy. I talk crazy when I'm sleepy. Ask Bill, he'll tell you. Bill be like, yeah, that motherfucker talking about he's going to have a dream about fish licking his feet. He's sleeping so good.
And so I would say to the young people, get involved, help us oppose Trump when he is wrong.
And make YouTube channels. That's my suggestion to you guys out there. If you don't want to get in office, make YouTube channels. Write blogs, be a blogger. I'm serious. Do things like that. Make Facebook groups. I might possibly make a Facebook group called the Progressive Players coming up. I tried to do that on PSN. I couldn't get nobody to join, but I might try that on Facebook. But my thing is, let me get subscribers first, then I'll think about making a Facebook page group.
Let's work together to create the kind of nation that most of us know we can become.
Interestingly, Senator, you have not ruled out the possibility of a 2020 run for the White House. Is that something you'd seriously consider?
Look at that smile. Yeah, he wants to do it. Yeah. Please, Bernie, stay alive for us, man. Be on life support run, please, man. He said he does his hair. He's like, wait, bye-bye. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about Tim Kaine running in 2020. That's insanity. Nobody likes Tim Kaine. You know what? Tim Kaine will have to go through the Democratic primaries, and he's not going to win unless Crooked Hillary is still around. Like, I'll tweet some tweets for you.
Wolf, the last thing in the world after this never-ending campaign, when we have not even sworn in the new president, is to talk about 2020. So let's not go there at all. Right now, what I've got to focus on is doing everything I can as a United States Senator to improve life for a middle class which is hurting today, and to protect the interest of 43 million people who are living in poverty.
That's right, brother.
That sounds to me, and you're going to be mad at me for pressing you, Senator, but that's my job. It sounds to me like you're not ruling it out.
Wolf, I would say there will be a whole lot of disappointment in this country if the media starts talking about 2020. We are, the people are tired of never-ending campaigns. Let us focus on the reality of today. Let's focus on the issues impacting the American people, and let's not worry about who's going to be running in 2080 or something like that.
I love Bernie. He'll sidestep. He will not. He's the king of doing that because he knows so many ways of redirecting the question without actually answering it when it comes to stuff like that. Because he won't let you.
But
nothing.
That's right. That's right. But and that's a good answer too. He's like, well, let's worry about now, and we just had an election, and chill out. But see, the thing is, he don't want to get in trouble because because the Democrat Party. The DNC like, well, we didn't want you to run, or I don't know. I think he's just playing it safe. But yeah, absolutely, he is the master of knowing how to talk. Very elegant talker. I love the answer because I want him to answer the question straight up, but I kind of give him a pass when he does the workaround answer because it's just hilarious,
Yeah.
Especially when they say, well, what's your thoughts on Benghazi situation? Or what you think about Hillary and Benghazi? Well, I don't know, Wolf. You got to ask her.
All right. One final question. I know you got to run. The President Obama, he's right behind me over there in the White House. He's going to be president until January 20th. Would it be a good idea? Do you believe it would be a good idea for President Obama to pardon Hillary Clinton?
What a stupid question.
Pardon Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
In other words, not allow her to be charged with any potential crimes, because there are those in the incoming Trump administration who want a special prosecutor to go ahead and file charges against her. The president, and remember, there was a president when Gerald Ford. We're old enough to remember when Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon. Yeah. Do you think it would be a good idea for this president to pardon Hillary Clinton?
Right. I don't look. President Obama will do what he feels is best. But the idea in a democracy in the United States of America that a winning candidate would try to imprison the losing candidate, that's what That's what dictatorships are about. That's what authoritarian countries are about. You do not imprison somebody you ran against because you have differences of opinion. That would be an outrage beyond belief. And I think the vast majority of the American people would find that totally unacceptable to even think.
Yeah, because that's just kicking a man when he's down, you know.
Yeah, but that's letting a criminal get by with whatever you want them to.
Right. That's a very good point. But to me, her losing this election is almost punishment enough, because I know it just burst her ego in half, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know that fucking destroyed her. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I just, you know, sure, hired a special prosecutor and see if they can actually find the dirt that I know she has. Absolutely, I agree with that. Sure, I'm just saying, if he don't do it, her losing is punishment enough, because even in her concession speech, she talked about how fucking painful it was. She didn't even do her concession speech to the next day. But honestly, I think it's because she was mad and she didn't have a concession speech written yet, because she didn't think she was going to lose, because she's a narcissist. I ain't losing. I remember Mitt Romney, man. I felt bad for Mitt Romney, because I'm a human being. I can express empathy, unlike Trump. I know empathy, and I voted for Obama, and I was so happy. I had tears in my eyes the night of 2012 when my man Barack Obama came out there and gave his victory speech, because I thought for sure he was losing that night. And then Mitt Romney came out there with his sweet wife, and he looked so disappointed. I just felt bad for the guy in a way. You know, that's why I wouldn't take shots at the loser, you know. Like, hey, you lost, that's punishment enough. But hey, I mean, lock her up, bro.
Senator Sanders, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Jane Sanders won't rule out presidential run in 2020. Oh, Jane might run. That could be interesting.
No, she's talking about Bernie not ruling it out.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Bernie won't rule out. Okay. I know. We'll say that for next time, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show Bill that closing argument Trump had. It's like 90 seconds, bro. But I think, in my opinion, that was the best campaign ad he ever ran, because he didn't run that many campaign ads to begin with, because he didn't really have the money to invest in it. He went out there and campaigned 3 times a day, state to state, city to city. He went out there and campaigned and busted his ass. And I always respect the candidate for doing that. Whereas Hillary sat home a lot and just made these campaign ads. Yes, she campaigned, but it was mostly towards the end. She did not campaign during the Democratic primaries, maybe once or twice. She don't do press conferences, you know, rarely, because she didn't give one for like a year, a press conference and stuff like that. So I just like the way Trump won, as far as him going out there, talking to people and earning their votes. And that was Hillary's downfall. She did not come out here and earn our votes. Sure, she can come to our town, Bill, but she's not giving us a message, and she's not inspiring us, other than saying Trump's a bigot. Yeah. Do you dig it, sucker? Burn. Damn. So what you think of Bernie as a conservative, Bill? What you think of? You like Bernie?
Bernie ain't never been an issue. I mean, at least Bernie does not riddle in scandal like Hillary was. Bernie's trying to makes you feel like he does want to try to help both sides. I just didn't get that from Hillary. Every time I saw Hillary, I saw jail bars and a orange jumpsuit every time I saw her, because that's just all. Well,
that was my thumbnails I made, dude. But
that was just.
Do you feel Bernie, right or wrong, is fair? Don't you think Bernie's a fair candidate, a fair man?
That's what I was just saying. That I feel like he's one that would be trying to work with both sides more so than Hillary would. He's one that he gives you that feeling like he would try to do it. You know, there's some people who say, well, my issue is that I want to work with both sides, but you just don't believe that. But with him, at least you can feel you can seem like you can feel it from what he's saying and hear it in his voice that he truly does want to try to help middle class and work with both sides rather than just it being a biased.
I believe he does because he's not a sellout. He don't care about having so many houses and so many cars. He's a simple man, and he spent his lifetime trying to help the middle class. He was there with MLK, man. That's when he got arrested, when he was chained to a black girl because they were protesting racism at some rally. It might have been the MLK, but if my brain's working right. But yeah, I think he's, I think he's just the realest one, man. He's authentic, and he's got a good heart. To me, he's got a good heart, and that's what matters. And that's why I wish Bernie would have won. He's a good role model. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody told me on my YouTube channel, it was a Republican, and he said, Brandon, I disagree with everything you say, but I really, really admire your integrity. That's why I sub to your channel. And I said, thanks, brother. And that's the way I think people should look at Bernie, or maybe you should see Bernie that way. Like, you know what? I like his integrity. I don't agree with everything he says, but, I admire his integrity because he just believes he's right in what he does. He's not Scorpion. He's part of the Lin Kuei. And, they believe in what they do. What was Scorpion's party? Because I know Lin Kuei was Sub-Zero.
That was what you talking about? Sub-Zero?
Yeah, Sub-Zero was the Lin Kuei. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
What was Scorpion's? I can't remember.
Oh my God.
Don't worry about it. But yeah,
I do.
But Scorpion was sincere. Okay, Sub-Zero and the Lin Kuei were sincere, even if you disagree. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to close on Donald. I'm going to show you the best campaign ad Trump ever released because I didn't see many of them. I heard some on the radio, but this is the best one. And this shit came out Monday, a day before November the 7th, the day before Election Day. But you got to see it. I'm not going to play the whole. I'm just going to play the ad part. But you guys out there, y'all know Kyle from Secular Talk. This guy is great. I wish my channel was half as good as his. He's got almost 1 million. He's got almost 1 million subscribers. And all he does, he reads from Politico, Wall Street Journal, and just gives his opinions about it. But he's been studying politics since he was a baby, because he's like me. He says, well, man, to me, reality is very interesting, and you can find some really interesting things out there, especially in history and stuff. But Kyle's real good, ladies and gentlemen. Secular Talk, give him a subscribe. And he told us the whole time about how nobody would vote and show up for Hillary and shit like that. Same stuff we say. He's a lot better than the Young Turk, than Cenk Uygur, I'll tell you that, even though they're friends. But he says what he wants to say. He never supported, he was a Jill Stein supporter. He never supported, it's like Cenk Uygur, TYT, they were for Bernie, Hillary won. Then they started sucking up to Hillary, and a lot of the TYT people did not like that shit. But if you watch Jimmy Dore's channel and Secular Talk with Kyle, they were all for Jill Stein, and they would, criticize Hillary. They didn't change. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and Jane's cool with that. TYT Network's cool with that. That's why he lets these guys have their own channels. And TYT does a show with Jimmy Dore called The Aggressive Progressives, but you have to be a member to watch it. But they show us highlights, and that's where you hear the real politics of stuff with progressives and not kissing Hillary's booty and stuff like that. But let's end on this Donald Trump closing argument ad, because I love this ad. I was like, man, if he would have ran his campaign like this, he would have destroyed Hillary. But he beat her anyway. And this came out a day before the election.
Trump released his closing argument ad. Let's watch it, and then we'll discuss.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington, and for the global special interest. They partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again. I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Now, wasn't that just an amazing campaign ad right there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
What'd you think of that version of Trump?
Well, dude, I mean, that's,
That was inspiring. That was really good. I'll give him credit, man. At the time when this was released, I was like, man, I wish he campaigned like that the whole time. But, he won anyway. But that was that's probably one of the best campaign ads I've seen, man, this year. Because on the left, it was nothing but negative campaign ads. That right there was inspiring to me, that campaign ad. I was like, well, how about that? How about it? So what'd you think?
Oh, I agree with you, man. You got to, that was the thing that helped Donald get it, was that he kept talking about change. And when they polled people that voted for Trump, they said, why are you voting for this guy? 83% of them overwhelmingly said, because we want change. And that's what Donald was trying to get the message to the people, was that, we need a change here. We don't need to.
Absolutely. And you don't really see that many populist Republican candidates. And like you just said, people want to change. And I love when he will say, well, 30 years of Hillary Clinton, she ain't changed nothing. And it's the same old. And that's why Bernie was also very strong with, independents and, moderates, because he was a populist candidate. He wanted to bring change. It's time to change, because people are hurting out there. People are struggling, man, because the current system is just not working. And I love how he talked. And remember, Trump was anti-establishment, and so was Bernie. And that's what I loved about that. He's like, hey, I'm the establishment, the 1%, they're controlling everything. They're sucking up all the money. Let's bring our jobs back. Let's work together. And I like how he says, I'm with you. He's not saying, like Hillary, I'm with her, when he just said in this video, I'm with you. I want to help you. Is he sincere or not? That remains to be seen. I'm just saying, for this campaign ad, this version of Trump, 10 out of 10. That was good. That's the review. That's what I would give it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Trump that should have campaigned, even though it don't matter now. Man, if he campaigned like that, he would have kicked their ass even more. So,
oh yeah, I agree with that, man. And that's a position.
That's something you should, as a Republican, Bill. That's you need to save this ad. And when people say, Trump ain't a good Republican, and blah blah blah, this is a message to be proud of. This is a an advertisement to be proud of, because it's Trump at his best. Even though I know somebody probably wrote it for him, but it's still good.
Right.
That's something to be proud of. That's something that Paul Ryan will look at and say, yeah, that was good.
That's true. I agree with you.
Let's get a couple of comments from Cal.
He can win.
See, right there, he called it. He said he could win. He can win. But at the time, I was thinking, man, he should have came out with that campaign ad like a month earlier. But it didn't matter, because I didn't think enough people would see it.
And his entire general election campaign like you just saw that ad, I think he would have won. Now, he still can win, and he didn't run his entire campaign like that. We took, a detour on grab him by the pussy and a whole bunch of other nonsense,
That was funny, though, the leak audio tape. Yeah, grab him by the pussy. But that was locker room talk. That was for Melania. And what else? I believe it was for Melania. And it's funny how that tape comes out right before that final debate, But Trump got her ass back when FBI James Comey said, hey, we're going to reopen Hillary's email investigation. And then they closed it a week later. Couldn't find anything. But that also cost Hillary's election.
Which is bullshit, I will add.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it still put a dent in it because I remember when it happened, it came out that Friday, just a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago exact, 14 days ago. James Comey came out and said, hey, we're going to reopen Hillary's case. And Hillary was so mad. And that's when people said, you know what? Fuck her. She's untrustworthy. Fuck her. And then Trump came out with this awesome campaign ad and the fucking country's red because of it. And James Comey, November 7th, said, hey, we can't find nothing. Case dismissed. But it was a little too late. The damage was already done. But I agree with you, though, yeah. But James Comey's an FBI agent appointed by Obama. Yeah, he's a Republican, but he's from Obama. But they said that Republicans wanted James Comey to reopen the case right then and there just to help Trump with some votes. But to be honest with you, even if that didn't happen, Trump still would have won. I didn't think it made that much of a difference because my argument is she just didn't inspire people to show up and vote. People didn't vote. They didn't care to. 40% of Americans did not vote this year. I might have mentioned this before, but Donald Trump had less votes than Mitt Romney and still beat Hillary Clinton, if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't get as many votes as Romney, and he still beat Hillary because people were suppressed. They didn't vote. I don't blame them. I didn't vote. I did not vote because there's nothing to vote for. And, my vote wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I'm not trying to say votes don't matter, but I just, dude, I was constipated that day, and that's why I didn't do it. A little busy.
The Coke episode during the debate. Water. So, there was 1,000,001 fuck-ups during the whole thing, and he still can win. But that's Donald Trump on message, and that's a message that resonates, and that's a message that does better than Hillary Clinton. Guys, I just saw it yesterday, so I'm watching The Walking Dead, which is a show I've watched since the beginning, and there was a Hillary Clinton ad during The Walking Dead. By the way, I wonder if she's trying to reach out to millennials in, again, the grossest ways possible. And what ad did they choose to run during The Walking Dead? The one where Donald Trump is saying naughty words. The one where he's cursing and it shows like the little kids looking at the screen like, oh, I can't believe he uses bad words like he's an adult. Okay, Hillary, that is the dead wrong strategy. That's the wrong strategy. The vague, stronger together, break down the barriers. That's no. Those are vague platitudes and cliches, and you're running a campaign based on PC outrage. And if Hillary wins, I already did my official prediction, and you guys know what it is. But if she ends up winning, it's because she's hanging on for dear life. It's slipping away. Same thing happened with Bernie Sanders. A 97-year-old Jewish atheist socialist. He's going to get crushed. Oh, shit, he won 22 states. What?
That's what I love about it, because at the time I was thinking, Bill, that I said, Hillary Clinton's going to win, but it's going to be razor thin. It's going to be razor thin, and that should be fucking embarrassing that she would win and it'd be razor thin like that. Turns out he fucking beat her, because I'm like, it's embarrassing. The race to two, like say she had 280 and Trump had 220 or something, and I'm like, man, that's fucking embarrassing. You barely beat him, and he turned around and whipped her ass, brother.
That's true. That is true.
But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm sorry if this if this episode was really long, but it's been a minute since I got in touch with you guys, and I wanted to talk to my little subscribers out there. I care about you guys, and I just love talking and love talking to Bill. We always do blockbuster episodes.
Sure.
Maybe we can get more subscribers and get more known out there, and be like Bernie and never sell out. Never sell out to the YouTube establishment. But sorry for the long episode, ladies and gentlemen, but it's because I missed y'all and I wanted to make it up to you. And there's so much to cover. There's so much to do. And anyway, and I want to, and besides, YouTube's got me striked. I can't stream. So if you want to see my videos first, sub to Bill. Then it'll be on my channel the day after. And Bill, former RNC chairman, brother, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for the help.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. As always, whenever I can be on, I try to be on. And, I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of it.
All right. That's teamwork, buddy, because I couldn't do this without you, man. You saved my channel here, man. You really did. This little workaround we do here. So I appreciate that over here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. There's more to come. I promise there's more to come in the future. Stay tuned to this channel. Thanks for making it this far. And it's Friday, so everybody have a good weekend, or whatever day you're watching this video. Have a good day, and get you some incense candles for your bedroom. Light them some bitches, and you'll sleep like a baby. Okay. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.